Hello. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about if seed oils are bad for you. So, I have not done a ton of research on this. I just did a little bit, and this is kind of like my findings on that. Short answer, no. Seed oils in general are not unhealthy, but there are certain ones that are. And then there's certain ones that are potentially, but we don't know for sure. So the ones that we can say are healthy, they're not an issue, are olive oil, coconut oil, flaxseed oil, and there's probably more, but that's the ones that I decided to write down. So then the question is like, why are some seed oils potentially unhealthy? So the first thing that came up in my research is something that's more of a hypothesis. They don't know this for sure, but they think there's something there pretty much. So basically there's concerns about excessive intake of omega-6 because there's certain seed oils that have a lot of omega-6. And like I said, scientists have hypothesized that too much omega-6 relative to omega-3 may contribute to chronic inflammation. And obviously, chronic inflammation is not the best. Some of the oils that are high in omega-6 are stuff like soybean oil, corn oil. You can read, there's a bunch here, and there's a bunch more. I think it's missing canola oil. And I know this is talking about oil, but this is all stuff that is also put into pretty much everything, like chips, any snack you can think, cookies. You'll see like canola oil or some other oil in there. So it's like in everything. So if this is an issue, then you should probably avoid these oils and the snacks and everything else that contains these oils, because it could be causing you health issues. So I will say that this one is more of a hypothesis. They don't know for sure. But if you want to be safe, you could just go ahead and kind of get those out of your diet just because it's probably the safer option. Now, the next thing is oils that are high in polyunsaturated fats, because they're susceptible to oxidation, and they're susceptible to oxidation on the shelf and inside your body. The explanation of why this is bad, or can be bad, is a little bit complicated, but basically fats, including polyunsaturated fats, have important functions in your body. And actually, I think it's on this page you can find out. I think it says it on this page. Yes, so the fat you eat isn't only stored as fat tissue or burned for energy, it's also incorporated into cell membranes. And obviously, you're made up of cells. Cell membranes are important and have important functions in your body. So, these fats are important. Polyunsaturated fats can easily be oxidized. It has to basically do with the fact that they have two or more double bonds, whereas monounsaturated fats have one double bond and saturated have no double bonds. So because of these two or more double bonds, they can easily be oxidized, and that probably doesn't make much sense. You may not know that word. Basically, it causes the fats to deteriorate into bad chemicals in your body. So that and bad chemicals in the body leads to inflammation, and it's just not great. So I actually learned what oxidation is when I was learning about what fire is in detail, because one day I was just randomly bored and wanted to understand it in detail. So the simple way to remember what oxidation is, it's just you have a molecule and it loses an electron. The electron leaves. Goodbye. That's all oxidation is. So polyunsaturated fats can easily be oxidized. It can easily lose electrons and deteriorate into bad chemicals in the body, which creates bad stuff for your health. So that's another reason why they're unhealthy. Some seed oils. And then the third is that hydrogenated vegetable oils are high in trans fat, which has been associated with various health problems. And you can find these hydrogenated vegetable oils and stuff like margarine, ice cream, cookies. I don't completely understand hydrogenated vegetable oils quite as much. It seems like hydrogenation may be good for storage. It says it makes them solid like butter at room temperature. So I don't know exactly what the reason for it is, but when they do that, it makes them high in trans fat, and a high intake of trans fat is associated with all sorts of chronic diseases, including you name it, pretty much. So that's kind of the 3 reasons that I found for seed oils being potentially unhealthy. My takeaway is, anytime you're buying some food, or if you need some sort of seed oil, just go with olive oil, coconut oil, or black seed oil, or something else that's healthy. Just Google it, be like, what's the healthy ones? And then go with that. And then, again, if you're buying food, look at the ingredients. That's something important, is to get used to looking at the ingredients. And if you see one of the bad oils, so maybe you don't know what that is, just Google what are the potentially unhealthy seed oils, look it up. If you see that one in it, don't get it. Like if you're buying some kind of like snack or something and you see it has canola oil, then don't get it. I'd say that's kind of my takeaway, because I don't know about you guys, but my brain isn't going to remember all this information. Like if I studied it over and over, maybe, but my brain will remember. When you're buying something, look at the label and Google what's the bad oils, what's the good oils. And yeah, I think that's kind of the most actionable plan to go on. If you learned something new or found this interesting, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.